Hello and welcome to a new video. Today we're gonna take a look at a really cool team here. My main goal was to have a team that was with only non-fully evolved Pokemon, and I used Vullaby instead of the Obstagoon, but then I had like too crazy of an ice weakness, so I thought, okay, I'm just gonna change it up to Obstagoon and run Hyper Beam. Maybe we have some fun with that. But this team really worked well after we lost like a lot of points with the Audino team, and only have like, I don't know, 30 points I think with the Registeel, Regirock and Regice team, which I played during Go Fest because I didn't really want to play something where it requires a brain. We played this team now. And this team worked out really well. I really liked Zweilous in this matter, especially if you have the Obstagoon as safe swap. You could also argue of running Gang Shot on the Obstagoon, but the main goal here is to basically get out the Fairy type, and you always get to the Hyper Beam against no matter what Fairy you basically deal with. So this safe swap is most of the time really good. And my opponent has his Dragalge. I also really want to have a Dragalge, but I only have like bad IVs, so Dragalge, one of the coolest Pokemon right now, I think. One of the strongest in general. The Dragon Tail does so much damage. Having a quick move, a quick charge move like the Awkward Tail is really good. And having a good nuke move as well. Like this thing is basically perfect. Has a good amount of bulk, has a really good typing. So I really want to use it someday, but currently not really possible. And this opponent actually played like really well. You're gonna see that later on, but he played that really well. Goes into the Lapras. I go into my Golbat here. Gonna go for the Poison Fang. Gonna be able to go for another Poison Fang here. I hope that I CMP tied here with my opponent, which I did happen, and I'm gonna let this go because I definitely have to save my shields for my Swallows, and I don't know what he has in the back. We're in a good spot here, but my opponent has a Froslass, and Froslass is basically a core breaker for the first two Pokemon there, so that's kind of sad. But we still have a chance here to hit the Dark Pulse, and that's why I said my opponent was like a really good player here. He caught the Dark Pulse here perfectly, even though, I don't know, like against Dragon Breath, not knowing how much energy I have because I farmed the stuff down before. A really good play there. So next opponent has Obstagoon in the lead. We always win against Obstagoon with our Pokemon here. He swaps out perfectly onto our charge move into Leg. A Nidoqueen. We can stay in for a bit, take one move, and then we're gonna go into the Swallows, gonna be able to farm down, and we should be able to get, he goes to the Poison Fang here. We're gonna be able to get a lot of energy off here, and you're gonna see later in the video, most likely have it already in the title, and you see it maybe on the thumbnail a bit. There's a Pokemon I got today, a Pokemon I really did not expect to get from GBL League today. You're gonna see it later on. It was crazy, but yeah. Back to the game, good leader. So here we can just, my opponent is a Mawile. It's actually kind of sad that you don't have cross chop, but still you're always going to win the two shields against the Mawile with the Night Slash as you out spam it. And even though the charge move, the quick move hurt, and the power punch would be double super effective, you have like shields, you're gonna out spam him anyway. I can shield here. You're gonna be able to get this Night Slash out. The Night Slash gonna KO from this range, and we should be able to win this match here because my opponent just has the 1 HP Obstacle in the back, and this is gonna be it. It always looks so funny if you speed up the pose right now, which I have on right now. It looks so dumb. My next opponent is Jellicent in the lead. What I'm gonna do here, my back is really good at Jellicent in general. I try to bait him here with a nice Poison Fang and see if I can get the shield here, because he should be scared of the Shadow Ball, which he is not. Cool, and now he shields the Shadow Ball. Then I'm gonna try to catch the move my opponent throws, which is actually decent for me. As he goes into the Ninetales, and against Ninetales we have the Swallows, which is also really good against it. We don't have to shield anything against the Ninetales, as every move is resisted on Swallows, like literally every move, I think. There's not a single move that's not resisted. Solar Beam, Overheat, Psyshock, Weather Ball are resisted. And next up, what does my opponent have in the back? They're gonna go into Froslass. I have to bait here again. I think my opponent expects me not to bait, yeah. And I should be able to get to the Dark Pulse. My opponent goes into Jellicent, but before I get to the move, which is interesting, I can go for the Poison Fang here, which gonna secure the win. That's gonna KO the Jellicent. my opponent can throw here whatever they want. Like, I have my shield left, I have my Dark Pulse stored, there's nothing my opponent can do here, and this is gonna be a good game. The lag kind of helped me, but I wouldn't have thrown the move anyway because I wasn't there like for like 4 turns or something. I'm not like, my reaction time is not as bad. Next opponent has Froslass lead, which is really bad, and goes into Mandibuss, which is even worse. We don't get the boost, but we have the Hyper Beam, and we should be able to get to the Hyper Beam against the Mandibuss here anyway, as the Mandibuss only can go for Aerial Ace, which is a garbage charge move, and not going to do as much damage anyway. We're just going to go for the Hyper Beam here. Gave him an extra free move, which is kind of bad, and I'm going to let this go, which I think was the wrong play. I'm going to go into the Zweilous and farm him down. I think we're in a really bad spot now. My opponent goes into the Froslass and he has too much energy already. I think there's nothing we can do here. As he goes into a Sunny Castform, which is interesting. I'm gonna go for the Dark Pulse here. Maybe I should have went for the Body Slam. I don't know what I'm actually doing here. Maybe I should have just went straight into the goal, but actually and found him all the way down here. Here I can just farm him down as well. I have to let this one go. I can go for the Poison Fang now against the Froslass, but he has 2 shields, like unless he let this one go. He let this one go. I do already a lot of damage with my goal, but he has to actually throw his charge move because we do so much damage, and we're gonna be able to farm down with this Zweilous. I don't know why he didn't shield there. Like, this was like a ridiculous play from my opponent, but I'm fine with that. Next up we have a Castform against us. Because we have an ABB team, I'm just gonna swap out into the Obstagoon, gonna be able to get the boost here, and my opponent goes into the Beedrill. And this matchup was actually weird, as you're gonna see, I think, in the second time, because I think it lagged on both sides at the same time for the second move. We actually went to 6 moves here, I think. Yeah, you saw like my energy didn't come through, and I think my opponent's also not in time. I tried to click only on the move basically, but it didn't work out. But we can farm him down here at least, which is fine for us. We know that the Castform has like a move stored, and we can just soak that move on our dragon, and we're gonna farm all the way down here. So we're gonna be able to soak this next to the wall as well, and we have a lot of energy left. My opponent goes into a Ferrothorn. We can go for the Dark Pulse here, and we're in a really decent spot. We get the shield here. I can shield again because Dark Pulse does a lot of damage, and Dragon Breath as well. And my opponent doesn't really have any thing that he wants to switch in here anyway. We're gonna go for the move. We're gonna maybe get to the Body Slam. We're gonna get to the Body Slam, put him really low. And now my opponent gonna swap out into the Beedrill, but we already have a Shadow Ball stored here. We can go for the Shadow Ball. Gonna be able to KO the Ferrothorn. This is gonna be a good game. As I said already, like Golbat and Zweilous, like in the meta analysis, actually all the Pokemon that I have in here were in the meta analysis I did before the cup starts, because I thought, okay, all of them have like a lot of play. You need to see them like how much play they have for playing right now. They are like all really strong in the current meta, and some of them, especially like Zweilous, is like not really seen a lot, even though it has so much potential. And here we're just gonna soak a move from the Qwilfish. Most Qwilfish run Ice Beam in this meta, so I expect that. I'm just gonna shield. And the shield was definitely worth it. We can farm down, and we're gonna get a lot of damage against whatever he wants to put in here. It's gonna be the Obstagoon, which is fine. We're gonna be able to go for the Body Slam there. I'm gonna go for another Body Slam, and then we're gonna have already the shields down from my opponent. We said he didn't get to the next Body Slam. My opponent swaps perfectly into the Victreebel, but we can just swap out here, go for our charge move. Even if he can KO us with the other Obstagoon there, we're gonna be able to win this game, because our Golbat should be able to live 2 counters, while my opponent shouldn't be able to live 1 move there. But we're gonna be able to survive this cross chop and gonna win this game here anyway. Next up we have Golbat against Obstagoon again. Goes into a Ninetales. We have to go for a charge move, I think, against the Ninetales, because the shadow damage just pressures too much. I think we could have actually won this without as well though, but yeah. My opponent runs Ember on it, which is crazy. Like, I haven't seen an Ember Ninetales ever. And we can go for another Body Slam against this Obstagoon. We're gonna be able to get him to half health, I would guess. Yeah, we're gonna be able to get him to half health before we're gonna die here. My opponent goes into a Hypno. What I'm just gonna do here is go for 1 Poison Fang. I shouldn't have done that, actually. Get the confusion on my own Obstagoon. Gonna go for a charge move here. But yeah, this game is basically over already. We get the boost here as well. So basically it's double boost on my side and a one-time debuff on my opponent's side, I can let everything go here. The scary thing is my opponent's Obstagoon, so I'm just gonna go for double up on the Night Slash. Gonna throw my move here. My opponent shields. I'm gonna go for the next Night Slash as well, where he's switching out, and we're gonna be able to get a lot of damage on him already. I can let this one go and farm all the way down with the Golbat. I can shield once. There's no way he can get to another move, and we're in such a good spot. We have the Poison Fang ready already. My opponent actually got the attack buff there, which was crazy, but yeah, he just surrenders at this point of time. Next up, we have Golbat against Obstagoon again, which I take, and the Qwilfish switch in here, which is interesting. I can just let the first Aqua Tail go through and can go for one Shadow Ball, and the Shadow Ball gotta KO the Qwilfish. Goodbye. Next up, he goes just into the Hypno here. I can just go into my Zweilous and hard counter him. I'm not gonna shield the first move here. It's a Shadow Ball. Do you want to actually stay in here? I mean, there's nothing really you can do. I can go for the Body Slam here, put him low. He goes into the Obstagoon again. We can go for another Body Slam. And I think we're gonna get to another Body Slam. Body Slam is so spammy. There's nothing my opponent can do here. There is literally nothing he can do here. He can go for a charge move if he wants. I don't care. So I can just go into my own Obstagoon and farm him down, shield once, and I'm done. There's nothing he can do. And yeah, I think I'm actually gonna go for the full farm down here, because like, why not? I could have thrown 2 moves, but it's fast like this. Next opponent, a Wigglytuff lead, really good fast, goes to the Lapras. I actually had some lag in the beginning, so I swapped in really late here. And we have to actually shield now, because my opponent, this should never happen unless you lag like in the beginning, but we lagged in the beginning, so my opponent reaches the charge move 1 turn before me. But I can farm all the way down, and I should be able still to get to the Hyper Beam, so I should be able to get my shield back anyway, or KO this Wigglytuff, or do like a lot of damage. And I'm gonna get my shield back, and he goes into Hypno. I have my Zweilous, and I think this is the opponent that just gonna sees you, and that he can just surrender, as this Fire Punch not gonna do a lot. We're just gonna go for the full farm down here, because we know Fire Punch. If you had like something else, you would have went for it, and my opponent just surrenders here. Good game there. Next up, we're gonna have Golbat against Golbat, which is an interesting matchup. And we're gonna build up to the Shadow Ball and go for the Poison Fang. We're gonna shield out the move from the opponent. It's also a bait. We hope my opponent shields then our move. And he does. And we're gonna try to catch the move onto our Zweilous. We hope it's a Shadow Ball, but it's actually a bait again, because bait does make more sense anyway. He goes into a Castform, which is beautiful for us. We can go for the Body Slam there and put him already low enough that we can farm down after him throwing 1 charge move here. We should still survive that. We should be able to win this matchup again. Or do we? No, my opponent gets to move with 1 HP and a Dream, 1 more Dragon Breath would have been enough to KO him. But it's not the worst, as we can go into our Golbat. My opponent goes also into Golbat, I think. Yeah, he goes into the Golbat as well. I can go for 1 charge move. This put him low enough that I can go for another whip there, and he goes into a Shift Free. We can go for 2 Poison Fangs here, and we're going to be able to win this game. There's nothing my opponent can do here. You see already how much the Wing Attack does there, and yeah, this is going to be KOing this Shift Free, and yeah, good game there. Next up, we're going to have Golbat against Stunfisk, a really bad matchup for us. We have to go into the Obstagoon immediately. We hope for the boost here, as he stays in, which is always kind of good when you lose the lead, that you can throw a charge move on the lead Pokemon there. Else it's going to chip him down a lot, so we can deal with him later on with the Golbat even. And also the switch type is now back like in my favor, not in my opponent's favor, as we can swap out again while we're in the matchup we can win. So we have to go for the full farm down now, because we got 2 extra moves in there. We can do that. My opponent goes into Froslass. Oh, this game gonna be really close. I think we can go for another Night Slash here. And now we're gonna swap out into the Zweilous. We have to shield here, but we put him low enough that we can Dragon Breath him down before it gets to another move. But he has a Registeel in the back, and we go for the Dark Pulse here. And this is gonna be really tough. Really tough. As this thing gonna KO us now with the Focus Blast, and we have to go into the Golbat and hit him with a Shadow Ball. I don't know how much a Shadow Ball gonna do anyway. As my opponent, I'm going to go into, yeah, I'm gonna go for the Shadow Ball now. How much is it gonna do? Puts them in a really good range, but we can go for the Night Slash here. We swapped out at the same time, and we won't get another counter off. Can we get to the Poison Fang in time? We cannot. We lose Team P there, I think it wouldn't have KO'd anyway, so good game there. And now you're gonna see the encounter we got. I still cannot believe it. I got a 100% shiny Mewtwo from GBL League as an encounter. It is crazy. This is just so crazy. And yeah, you see me not being able to throw moves at all right now because I don't know why. I am just, I don't know, my nerves were down there or something. But yeah, we got a Shundo Mewtwo from GBL League. We only need one more ball to catch it, don't worry. It's gonna be an excellent one anyway, as I'm actually gonna try it this time around. As this gonna hit, and this gonna be able to catch the Mewtwo. A 100% shiny Mewtwo from GBL League. I think that's the best encounter you ever seen in GBL League, as Mewtwo is like the first time out there, and it's one of the best legendaries at all, and then in shiny, and then 100%. I cannot believe it. That's gonna be it for the video. Thanks all for watching, and see you in the next one.